I'm sick and tired of weight loss gurus lying on the internet as to what is the best weight loss strategy for people over the age of 40 and 50 and beyond, all right? And I'm going to actually ruffle a few feathers right now by telling you some home truths about what it actually takes to lose weight. I personally lost over 20 kilos or 44 pounds, and I co-own New Zealand's only fitness studio for people over the age of 40. And we help people lose tons and tons of weight and keep it off for the long term. And we do it the right way, without fads, without detoxes. We do it the right way, all right? And that's what I'm going to share with you today. So some of the main lies that these gurus are telling online, okay, which really annoys me, I've got 5 of them here I'm going to share with you, all right? So we got these five right here. So number 1, carbs make you fat. I hate that, okay? Carbs do not make you fat. I'm going to dive into that in a minute. Then we've got, you don't need cardio. That trainer, that coach, don't do cardio, it's cool. Then we got fad diets and detoxes. Then we've got people tell you you are high cortisol and you can't lose weight. And your hormones are not right, therefore you can't lose weight. And then I'm going to share with you the real secret, IOU. You owe it to yourself. And the framework around IOU of what it actually takes is just 3 steps. And I promise you, if you do it, you will 100% guaranteed lose weight. So carbs make you fat. Let's talk about that one, is it? I'm going to put something up on the screen. It's a screenshot of my diet. I track food in MyFitnessPal, and I have done for about 16 years. It's one of the biggest tools that I've used actually to lose weight. And I've logged something like 26,000 foods on MyFitnessPal. So I know a little bit about calorie counting and tracking calories and macros, right? And the thing of it is, so many of those days I ate high carbs, like super high carbs. But because I kept my calories restricted, and I know how many calories that I need on a daily basis to actually lose weight and maintain my weight, it doesn't really matter how many carbs you eat. If you want to get all scientific, carbs, the process of converting carbs to body fat is called de novo lipogenesis, and is a very, very difficult process for the body to actually do. And it only happens when there's a calorie surplus, because if you eat too many calories in general, then the energy that you take in from carbs, fat, and protein can get stored as body fat. The thing of it is, though, that carbs actually hold water. They're called carbohydrates. Think of the hydrate thing. And what that does is, for every 1 gram of carb that you take, your body stores 2 to 3 grams of water. That is what causes initial weight gain from eating carbs, but it is not body fat. It's just a natural process that we go through when we store carbs, all right? The second thing is, don't need cardio. Guys, like if you're over the age of 40 and you're 50 and you're 60, cardio, it's like amazing. Studies are showing that if you do about 150 minutes of cardio per week, that is going to keep your heart healthy. That is going to help you live 3 to 7 years longer. And if not longer, you're going to have a better quality of life. And if you want more energy and you want to do things in life, then cardio is super key to do that. And the thing of it is, I've just been training for like triathlons and half marathons and things. And the fitter I've gotten over the last year or so, the more energy I have. Doing cardio may be boring, all right? But I promise you, if you do the bare minimum to keep your heart healthy in a zone 2 range, you're going to be much, much better off in terms of energy. If you have more energy, you can then do more. You can be more active throughout the day, which in turn will burn off more calories. And the thing of it is something called NEAT, or non-exercise activity. If you have more energy and you do cardio, you can burn off a lot of calories from that. Let's just say, like I go for walks probably 2 or 3 mornings a week. I do about 45 minutes. I burn off about 300 to 400 calories on that walk. If I didn't do that walk, I wouldn't be able to eat 300 to 400 calories, which means that, I'm going to have to really restrict my calories, okay, to be able to manage all that out. And the thing of it is, if I burn off 300 calories a day, 7 3s are 21, that's 2,100 calories I've burnt off just by doing that little cardio walk. That is actually more than 1 day of eating for me. So by doing that extra walk, you're actually burning off a whole day's worth of food. So if you're not currently doing cardio, do it. There's so many more benefits, than weight loss, but it actually does help with weight loss as well if you do it, all right? Now, the third thing is detox and fad diets. I get it. You can go on a juice diet. You can go on keto, and you will drop a lot of weight very, very quickly. A lot of that weight, though, is water weight. It's bulk. You have a big old massive, poo. Number two, and that is the weight you initially lose. And people are always saying, oh, go on a fad diet. You know, you can do it slim fast, opti fast, all those things. They're very low calorie diets and they all work. Very low calorie is the key, because if you go on a super very low calorie diet, you're going to lose weight because it's a calories in, calories out game. All right. So don't do fad diets. And one principle I like to tell my clients as well is if you can't follow this diet for the rest of your life, don't do it. Because the thing of it is because if you do follow that diet and you do lose weight and you can't stick to it, then you end up back to square one and you've never actually learned. You've never learned. You need to learn how to lose body weight and keep that body weight off. So try and avoid things that are quick fixes and fads. And people are trying to sell you onto these dramatic weight losses and say lose all this weight in 6 weeks and that. It sounds amazing. I mean, I even like the idea of it sometimes. But the thing of it is, if you do it, it's a lie. It's not going to help you long term. And as far as I'm concerned, if you can't do something long term, you shouldn't even start in the first place because it's not helping. Number 5, and I hear this all the time. Okay, when I do consultations on a daily basis with our over 40 members. A lot of them are females and men in busy jobs and things, right? And they talk about high cortisol. Now, high cortisol, like, don't worry about it. Like, because the thing of it is, if you're stressed out and you got to de-stress to lose weight, like, how do you do that? Most of us just can't de-stress in an instant, right? If you've got high cortisol in your body, yeah, maybe it's a hormonal trigger that might help you, might make you not lose weight as fast. But there are fundamental things that I'm going to show you in this little bit in a minute about. It doesn't matter how stressed out you are, okay? It just really doesn't, because it's not useful. It's not useful information that you're stressed out. Like, I was a police officer for 22 years, okay? And for half of my time in the police, or more than half, I was overweight. I was stressed. I was lack of sleep. I was running around doing firearms jobs and all the stress that comes with being a police officer. Then I started running a business at the same time, which was this fitness business. And I was doing a business and I was working full time as well. And I was stressed out, but I still managed to lose 20 kilos. It didn't matter how stressed I was. It comes down to those 3 things, okay? The energy input, the energy output, and being sort of motivated and consistent with those things. So if someone tells you that you can't lose weight because of high cortisol, run the other way, because literally it's probably one of the worst bits of advice you can ever have. Same goes for hormones as well. So many of our poor women come in here and they go through menopause. Men are having their testosterone like tanking as well because they're getting older, and they always say, well, I can't lose weight, I can't build muscle because of those things. Well, yeah, it's a natural decline. It's going to happen. But do you think you control how much you exercise? Do you think you control how much that you eat as well? And I just want to get that across. You can see I'm passionate about this project, this thing, because like, they're things that you can't inherently control. It's out, it's just out of your scope of control, right? That's what I'm trying to say. But you can do things to control it. And if people are telling you that, take this thing because it's going to help with the hormones and all that, just don't listen to it, because it's not helpful advice, all right? Now, I'm going to share with you the real secret, what it actually takes. And it's actually not even a secret. It's just like boring, okay? So number 1, I stands for input. How many calories you take into your body relative to how many calories you burn. And I know it sounds boring, and I know you don't want to hear it, but ultimately, if you're overweight right now, it is because you eat too much relative to the activity you put out, okay? So you and I could eat 2,000 calories per day. I am running triathlons and I am doing lots of cardio. You may not be doing anything. You may be sitting on the couch all day long, right? Therefore, we're going to have very different outputs in terms of weight loss. I'm going to be burning off. I burned off this morning 800 calories on an 8K run, okay? But if you didn't do that, and I'm only going to eat 2,000 calories today, but if you ate 2,000 calories, which is very easy to do, you will not lose weight. You will maybe put on weight because you're kind of sedentary, okay? So you've got to understand that what you take in relative to your activity is so important. And one of the best things you can do really is go and keep a food diary. Understand the food that you eat. Understand your intake. Read the food labels on the back. Understand how many calories are in that, and then sort of see where you're at. And a really good thing, like I could go into all day long, but I've got a guide down below, right? A comment blueprint, and it's a 10-step blueprint to become in a calorie deficit, or to get into a calorie deficit. And I will send that over to you for free, okay? So understanding your input is key. If you understand how many calories you take in, then you have a really, really good idea where to start and how to lose weight. Look, the O in the O means output. How many calories do you burn? How many steps you do? And let me tell you something else. Walking a dog is not exercise, right? Now, the thing of it is, okay, well, it is a bit of exercise, but it's not going to be enough to get you where you want to get to. I speak to so many people over the age of 40 and 50 and 60 who are highly sedentary. They do only 3,000 steps per day, and I track this stuff, right? I get people to track this stuff. And if they're doing 3,000 steps a day, that is highly sedentary. And really, you have to eat so little food for your activity levels at that point that it's very hard to eat less, okay, to lose weight, because basically you're going to be less than 1,000 calories. So if you're not doing any activity and you're not moving, you're not walking, then the output portion needs to be increased. So what can often happen is you can keep your input the same and increase your output by doing extra cardio. That's one of the best ways to burn a bunch of calories. And the fitter you get, the more you can do, therefore the more calories you can burn. And that is the output portion. If you take care of the output, sometimes the whole thing will balance. And then once you get to a plateau, let's say, then you may look at, increasing your output and decreasing your input, right? And the third thing is unshakable consistency. Unshakable consistency. Because I see so many people, they'll say, well, I was really good last week and I worked out 3 times and I tracked my meals 3 times. But it was still 4 days you didn't do anything. In our heads, we often think that we did 3 days of work, therefore that should carry us over for the other 4 days of the week, all right? And the problem is we have really no clue how consistent we are. A lot of times, like when I have consultations with people in here, they say, oh, I do these activities. I say, well, how many times did you do the activity last week? Oh, I didn't do it since for about 3 months now. Because in our minds, we're doing it, even though we're not actually doing it. And it's a trap we fall into. Even maybe you can relate to that as well. So you need to be unshakable and have consistency with everything that you do. Because if you do 3 walks this week and then did no walks next week and then 1 walk the week after, that is not going to be enough. But in your mind, you think it is. So you've got to have a plan to basically, track your outputs, track your inputs, and then have some accountability. Now, one of the best things we do at Growing Younger here is that we have 3 things, okay? And accountability is the biggest thing, because we understand people get, derailed, and it happens all the time, all right? So if you want a copy of that calorie deficit blueprint, just say comment blueprint, and I will send that to you personally. Now, you may watch this video and go, well, that isn't for me, and I'm not sure what to do next. Honestly, it is for you, and it will work for you, because I've helped hundreds of people, thousands of people do the same thing as well. I know it'll work for you every single time. You just need the right process, and you must understand what this whole thing is about. So that is my my sort of 5-part process, the big lies I see in the fitness industry, and the 3 simple ways of how to fix it. You basically understand how much you take in, understand how much you spend and your output, and you be consistent to those 2 things, and that will get you to where you want to get to. Now, this is a Coach's Corner video, okay? And this is for people who stuck around now. You got here and you watched the whole video, listened to my little rant, taken some notes, and maybe go back and listen to the video again if you think that you need to. But I've always got a secret word at the end of these Coaching Corner videos, okay? And the word, and I want you to comment down below if you've made it this far, you're part of the Coach's Corner right now, and that word is guru, okay? So pop in guru down below, and I will know that you stay to the end and watch this video, and you are the sort of person that's going to be the most successful. I promise you that. If you got through this video and listened to my little rant and understand what I'm trying to say to you, you will be successful. So that's it from me. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you on the next video.